Why do I feel so nervous for a death battle that I don't personally care for? Yeah, so I've been reacting to a lot of death battles. I've just sort of forgot I've been busy with other stuff. I don't want to go in detail, but yeah. Just been busy with other stuff. I just kind of been busy with some death battles. I've seen the Ash vs. Yugi one, so I won't be able to react to that one. Since I know who wins. But this one, I don't really know much of Dragon Ball. I have one friend that's like a die-hard Dragon Ball fan. And I know a lot on Sonic, of Metal Sonic. But generally, I'm not really that wide-versed or really caring for Perfect Cell or Metal Sonic. So why do I care about, me reacting to it? Two things. One, this is the final DevilArtemis animation that he's gonna work on for Death Battle. It's something about like he just didn't like the community drama, which understandable. The community can get very toxic. But also, there is personal beef in a server I'm in. A server I created. So I try to take advantage of it, but in a funny way, and do a betting of who's gonna win, Cell or Metal Sonic. They're reacting to their version on their end. Meanwhile, I'm gonna react to my end, and I'm gonna see firsthand who wins. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh yeah, also forget. Hey everyone, it's me, streaming YouTuber, and today I'm gonna react to Cell versus Metal Sonic. Let's go!
Cell versus Metal Sonic.
Which copycat android is truly the superior model?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Whoever wins, the losing side is gonna have a bunch of arguments in the server I'm in.
Monster stalking Ginger Town.
Like I said, I did a whole betting thing just for fun.
Was their clothes something?
So if Metal Sonic wins, this is gonna be way more toxic than if Cell wins. I know that
Kind
fact.
of creature driven only by the need to feed. Earth's new apex predator, the ultimate life form.
Cell.
Piccolo went to investigate this manslayer and discovered that it was intelligent. Its tail could unravel to absorb its hapless victims.
It's a vampire. I wanna suck your blood.
Because for its last trick, somehow this freak of nature.
Okay, that's a good volume for it.
The mystery of this creature's origin was decades in the making.
Wait, hold on.
Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most
There we go.
advanced paramilitary organization in history, the Red Army.
Until they got rocked by this little kung fu gremlin, Son Goku.
But Red Ribbon's
I will say right now, like I said, I don't know much on Dragon Ball compared to Sonic.
Hiding away in his
So of course Cell is created because someone was petty and just like, yo, I'm gonna kill this guy.
Everything there was to know about him.
and building a series of androids that would destroy his spiky-haired nemesis once and for all.
He made a ton of them. Infinite energy androids, key absorbing androids, trucker head androids, and even
DeviantArt androids.
ginger androids.
However, none of Jiro's
Oh, yeah,
creations were
gingers.
capable of matching that drive to improve that Goku and his fellow martial artists possessed.
Luckily, he had one more android left. A cute little booger so complex he'd take years after Jiro's death to complete. Its name was Cell.
Born from a single cell, get it? This android possessed the genetic information of all the greatest warriors that had battled on Earth, and, when fully evolved, would become unstoppable.
And with
Perfect
their DNA,
Cell.
Cell absorbed all their powers and techniques too.
Common among all of them is the power to manipulate ki, or the energy that exists in all living things, and weaponize it to fire energy blasts, fly at faster than light speeds, move things with telekinesis, and create force fields.
From the humans,
Alright.
Krillin and Tien, Cell knows the multiform technique, Destructo Disc, and the Tri-Beam, his extra special favorite. Oh, weird, I'm not seeing Jiaozu on this list. Sorry, bud.
Is Jiaozu human?
Oh.
It's kind of fitting that DevilArtemis is making this one, considering he has an entire series dedicated to Cell fighting a bunch of beings.
His father.
And because he's got Piccolo's DNA, Cell can regenerate humongous damage to
Ew.
his body at the cost of some keys.
Cell has survived
Why did the detail the sweat though? Ew.
and cannot be destroyed unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is eradicated.
Should that little bugger survive, Cell will always.
Oh yeah, I'll just say this right now. I haven't picked a side yet. I want to hear both of their arguments, and then I'll pick a side. That's how I typically roll.
The genetic corrupt.
Sure, he can perfectly replicate attacks like the Galactic.
Only if it's someone I personally know, like the Bowser and Eggman one.
By locking onto a living being's key signature.
But the best part of being a Saiyan is how much crazy stronger they get every time they almost die.
They can even evolve to become orders of magnitude stronger in the midst of battle. Combine that with Cell's healing factor, and he's effectively the ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shonen motion machine.
Driven by a biological imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Giro's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing it would make him perfect.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went back in time. Not
Damn.
our Trunks, future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future Trunks. It's very complicated. There's like 5 timelines.
As
Time travel's
Cell
weird.
absorbed the androids, he evolved, not only getting stronger, but changing his personality and developing a lust for battle.
He became less creepy bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated
Yeah.
Trunks and Vegeta, the latter of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our solar system's mass is located in the sun, this still means that Cell's key wave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz,
Oh,
maybe
damn.
he was just exaggerating.
Not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks and even demonstrated outright in the video games.
Cell's even
Oh,
stronger
damn.
in the adaptation, considering the time Frieza blew up Namek. In the anime, the explosion was literally hundreds of light years wide and lit up the friggin' galaxy.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy and thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also
Damn.
incredibly fast, capable of blitzing even the strongest sea fighters at the time. Goku flew from Grand Kai's planet of heaven all the way to hell, hundreds of billions of light years in half a minute. And that was in his base form.
Yeah, that's cool, but how about the power to squeeze mini Cell Juniors out of your butt? What? Never heard of that key technique?
What?
Call it the Kegel.
Ew.
Cell was entirely without peer and, no longer wedded to Giro's petty grudge, decided to prove it with a tournament.
The Cell Games! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Junior.
Their last hope was Goku's own son, Gohan.
After Cell arrogantly let him power up, Gohan unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits, and beat him. Wow, Cell, you really are related to Vegeta, aren't you?
In truth, Cell was a victim of his own success. The same
Yeah, then he
beings
died.
all-powerful
At least,
also
that's what I
suffered the
assumed.
fate of his defeat.
He got so mad, he even blew himself up. Maybe he does
Yeah.
have some Chaozu in him.
Bro, he's
after all.
so angry that he just killed himself.
Totally put him down, and he came back with the same Super Saiyan power-up that Gohan had just unlocked.
What?
Super perfect Cell. Now with more lightning, in a battle for the ages, Cell put the entire weight of his biological programming against one lone Saiyan. And
Jeez.
went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough. No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters, he still couldn't quite figure out their knack for going beyond.
What can be destroyed can always be rebuilt.
It kind of funny for Metal because he always wanted to go beyond. Willing to change his entire DNA just to beat Sonic. Speaking of,
Hey, real quick, did you know Death Metal launched
Oh, never
their own
mind.
tabletop gaming channel? It's called The Nightly Brew. We're doing Dungeons and Dragons, Blood on the Clock Tower, and a bunch of other stuff. I'd love if you could check it out. We just finished our campaign through the old school Tomb of Horrors.
I should
so
charge
it's
my
an
phone
infamous
before,
dungeon
you know,
in
it runs
D&D
low on
history.
battery.
Here's a clip. You quadruple in size and bump into multiple of the
there we go.
columns. There's no way you can fit in this room without touching columns. So you begin floating up.
Oh my god, Ben?
As
Yo, Ben, no way!
Moon soot drifts closer to the demon face.
Wait, he's the voice of Wiz. Oh my
He gets
god.
just a couple feet away from the mouth. Soot disappears.
Ben, no way, you are Wiz himself, crazy.
It's the most, like, everybody dies. It's the hardest thing, and I was like, we've got this, these other sessions. And then we hit this fucking room, and I am at my limit. I hate this with all of my being.
Good job. Alrighty, now for the one I know more of.
Time and again, the world and its cuddly forest critters were threatened by the evil and oval Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
And time and again, that same world and those same critters were saved by Sonic the Hedgehog. No matter how many robotic badniks the good doctor threw at his blue spiky nemesis, his schemes were always 6 spin jumps to the glowing weak spot away from getting cracked and scrambled.
But it wouldn't be over easy for Eggman. If he couldn't defeat the blue blur, he would make his own.
Yeah, he's like, I can't beat you, I'll just create one myself.
Creativity for that name, but goddamn, he does look metal as hell.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Nelson does look cool.
With more than enough blast processing to match his prototype.
Metal can zoom around at massively hypersonic speeds, fast enough to fly to nearby planets in seconds.
He's tougher than Eggman's standard equipment, some of which can survive black holes.
Metal can use all of Sonic's power-ups, and even replicate his classic spin dash and light speed attack.
But he's got moves of his own.
He can attack with energy blast, fire a chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy, Metal can activate V maximum overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path, at the risk of self-destructing.
Yeah.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn the rodent into roadkill, but it only took one showdown on Stardust Speedway to send Metal to the scrap heap.
On paper, Metal should be able to outmatch Sonic in every way, and yet he doesn't. For some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival,
Yeah.
and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized red ass handed to you by Charmy B, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he exist?
Never one to admit defeat, Eggman took Metal back to the drawing board and birthed him anew.
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above all, far smarter.
Especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his empire. And we mean
Damn.
literally copy. If Metal started as Sonic's copycat,
Yeah.
why not hunt?
He's
all
willing to like
the
risk his
records down
own
and
essence of
copy
being
them
Metal
too?
Sonic and to
Neo Metal Sonic
just
is equipped with
be whatever
scanners
he
in his
wants.
optic receptors
He has
that
the whole
can
copy
copy a
DNA
person's
stuff.
biodata, giving him
Which
the
actually,
ability to
could he
recreate all of
copy,
their abilities in seconds.
Could he actually copy stuff with Cell and saying vice versa?
Tails is magical swiveling asshole, and Big's ability to suck at fishing.
Metal isn't just learning their moves. He can replicate more esoteric powers like Silver Psychokinesis,
Yeah.
manufacture Rouge's mechanical bat guards, or alter his very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning that biological data is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted, it doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal. If you can do it, so can he. Probably
Yeah.
hope that he can shapeshift and regenerate his whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying one of the mightiest beings on the planet, the god of destruction, Chaos.
Not the only chaos he's encountered.
By scanning the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Yes, the emeralds contain
Yeah.
an infinite wellspring of mystical power and life energy.
What if
With them, Metal can perform
What if
Shadow's
factor in
chaos
Super
control.
Neo Metal
He can
Sonic?
teleport, warp and distort space, boost his speed, and stop time. And with either the Chaos Emeralds or Master Emerald, he can transform into
Yeah, they
Super
are.
Neo Metal Sonic.
One of my friends that was really on Team Cell was like, no, IDW is not canon, but Death Battle considers it canon, so it doesn't mean anything.
Inconceivably powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate star systems.
On their own, they can even create and destroy whole universes.
Other super characters like Sonic have battled and defeated beings like the Time Eater, who can destroy multiple dimensions and timelines in seconds. At their peak, 3 super hedgehogs have even fought Solaris, who nearly consumed Sonic's entire multiverse.
So Super Neo Metal Sonic should be just as powerful as any
What
of
is
them.
this
So he's
Roblox
tough,
gameplay?
Because all that power only lasts a short time.
The road to total domination was nearly at an end. After manipulating Sonic and friends and copying their abilities, Metal eventually combined their biodata with the mighty Egg Fleet and became
Metal Overlord.
Complete with missiles, giant crystal projectiles.
So I'm not commenting a lot. I just, want to
supersonic
learn.
heroes all by himself. Overlord is all-time final boss material.
And he knew it. His ego might as well have had its own health bar. Metal's drive to surpass his rival had morphed into the delusional belief that he was the original, and Sonic the loathsome copy.
A copy that Metal had finally outclassed. All the heroes Metal had gathered had to team up to take him down.
He may have stolen their abilities, but Metal never possessed the thing that made the Sonic heroes successful: their friendship and teamwork.
Aw, how cute. Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things. After getting trashed again, Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge any bits of rebelliousness from his code.
Metal returned to being the Eggman Army's chief enforcer, always proving invaluable as the Bad Doctor's greatest creation, now completely obedient once again.
I don't know, Wiz. Who knows what's really going on behind those glowing red
Yeah.
eyes? Maybe Metal is more cunning than he lets on, and is only biding his time until he can take over again.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
And from what I remembered in the IDW
Hey, I'm
comics,
Jack, the voice of
when
Wednesday.
Eggman was out of commission,
Don't believe
Metal
me?
Sonic
What
took
about
advantage
now?
and
That's
almost
what I
killed
thought.
and almost
Matchup
killed
is
Sonic on his
about to
own.
begin. We can't wait for you to see it. But first, I want to tell you about a brand new thing coming to the Death Battle store, and it's something you guys have been asking for: matchup pitches. It's a way to
Huh.
work with me and Ben,
Neat.
the creators of Death
But
Battle.
okay,
and
I guess
pitch us
I'm
a
gonna
matchup
talk
that
about
you
the
want to see.
whole
Any matchup, any way you like.
I'll talk about the whole Cell
This was
versus
originally a
yeah,
Kickstarter
the
reward,
Cell
but
versus
due to
Metal
popular
Sonic.
demand, we wanted to keep it
I'm
going.
gonna go
A lot
Team
of
Metal.
episodes of Death Battle that are
Mainly
currently being
because
worked on
one of my
are
friends is
because of
way
the pitch.
toxic on
So
Cell,
we
and I
wanted
just
to
kind of
keep
want them to
grinding
lose.
games.
I'll be
So
real.
quantity is
So I'm gonna be
limited,
rooting
but
for
act
Team
quick.
Metal.
Death Battle pitches are available
But yeah,
right now on
generally, check out
deathbattle.gg.
DevilArtemis, the one that's
Play
going
a
to be
picture
the one
on
that
it,
made
split
this
some
last Death
If you're a
Battle.
website
He's a
member,
really
you get
talented
discounts on
guy.
all of our merch,
It's sad to see him
including
go, like, well,
While you're
not
there,
sad, well, he's
check out
not
the Death
dead,
Battle
but
retro
sad to
tee.
see him
Sure,
not
we
work
got,
on more
like,
Death
over a
Battle
decade of the
animations.
first Death Battle shirt
I
back
get
on the file
why,
and
since,
recreated it.
you know,
And
communities
much
can get very
nicer.
toxic
Check it out
and
while you're there.
very
Anyway,
rude.
Let's get to the fight. I know you want to see it, and Boomstick wants to see one of these copycats get copycat.
Yeah.
So, here we go. And remember, deathbattle.gg. We want to
Make sure you check out DevilArtemis. He's a really talented creator. He actually worked with Moro as well, which that's awesome.
We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a Death Battle! Let's see this in action. Oh, damn! Already nearly in it.
Congratulations, Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation precedes you. Bring me your strongest fighter, or face...
And there he is. Yeah, both voiced by DevilArtemis himself. Again, very fitting that his last Death Battle will be one on Cell. Ooh! Thought he's getting clapped immediately. Huh? Oh! He broke through it.
Tell me, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear? Not anymore.
Super? Oh, just immediately jump into Overlord. Damn, look at this sliding. Oh yeah, they didn't bring up the moon feat that they were bringing up for Metal versus Zero. Which yeah, Metal lost that one. Whoa!
Fool, you're dealing with the ultimate life form. I already possess this data. Observe chaos.
Oi!
Done.
Nope, you're not powering up. Oh.
Life form data successfully copied.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh! Oh yeah, he can regenerate, yeah.
Kill me, puppet.
This is intense.
I know. Now I know everything about you, insect.
Jesus Christ! It's so flashy. Whoa, 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 whoa! Let me just poop out some children. Oh yeah, he copies Cell's DNA. Oh shit! He's gonna die.
Don't you dare.
Oh! Is this it? Wait. Did he die? No, he didn't. Uh-oh. This is the final blow. This is the final blow. Who's gonna win?
Not just the greatest warrior in the universe. I am all of them.
Oh.
If you are all of them, and so am I. I'll never lose to a machine like.
Oh, jeez. Oh, he done. He done. He done. He is done. Yo, the server that I did the betting in is going to be enraged. It's going to be enraged. Clump's pissed. Clump's gonna be hella pissed. Clump's gonna be hella pissed.
The Chaos Emeralds and the Z Fighters? Well, that world's fucked. Our
Yeah, no, the moment he copied Cell's DNA, it was over. It was over.
Ultimately proved too much for him. Let's break this down into 4 categories: strength, speed, abilities, and
Yeah.
adaptation.
First up, who was the strongest? Well, it's no surprise that any version of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base metal or Neo. Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and there's nothing suggesting he could destroy it in one go. Especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even
Fair
being
enough.
Generous and assuming he could just blow it up. Final bosses.
Also,
like
glad I voted correct. Yeah.
Wider multiverse, and Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal Sonic takes the edge in strength.
And with Sonic characters being known for their speed, you might think that was an easy win.
No.
At his max speed in his super form,
No,
he
Cell
should
was
make
100%
it
faster.
like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Wow.
Certainly impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's
Yeah,
power
but,
in the
yeah.
era shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Hey, just like Time Eater.
Yeah.
The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect Cell can move upwards of 100 times faster than that, and so 100
Jesus.
times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge in speed. You know, the thing Metal was designed for.
Wasn't expecting that. Let's see if any of their abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note, though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a
It was
single
impressive.
burst of microscopic
And then you gotta
cells.
factor in one
On top of
thing.
that, Cell's
Metal's
DNA
copying.
Let him grow in power every time he almost died. And his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something that countered Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver Psychokinesis, or the Emerald Spatial Distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have copied Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been beaten by all of them a bunch of times. So all that in mind, abilities is roughly
Tied.
Which leaves us with the one thing they're both known for. Their capability to evolve and become more powerful.
Copying,
in
that's
response to
Metal,
their
because...
opponents, AKA their adaptation.
Yeah.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Yeah.
The ability to physically absorb an opponent is primarily viable against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took Metal by surprise, he can't absorb fully inorganic robots like Android 16.
Cell was only able to absorb Androids 17 and 18 because they were primarily organic.
They're actually more like cyborgs and are only called androids in the English translation.
Metal, on the other hand, can copy a target's biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
Yeah.
Using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers of all of the Z Warriors.
Yeah, no, the moment he did that, it was over. It was over.
Biology, like Espio's invincibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically encoded in the first place. Quite literally, biodata.
Cell's Saiyan power-ups? Copied. Cell's regeneration?
Copied.
Cell's key techniques?
Copied.
Not copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce life energy, similar to Ki. So there's a precedent for him being able to replicate Cell's power set. And at this point, there's nothing stopping Metal from, say, stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level. Just like Gohan did.
Cell might be able to do anything the Z fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, because Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do. Strange, isn't it?
Cell just doesn't have any options to retaliate that Metal wouldn't also possess, including...
What a great battle, actually. No, what a great battle. Yeah. I was on the fence, but I went confident on Metal, and I chose correctly.
Where's he? You get it? CD?
Bruh.
Where you go?
The winner is Metal Sonic.
Time on Death Battle.
What's next, though? Is there another Dragon Ball character? No, this doesn't look like it. Who are these two?
Subscribe and join as a member to see
Bakugan versus
Thanks
Reizi.
for watching.
Yeah, I never heard of them. But yeah, what a great death battle this was. And yeah, unfortunately, this is the final one that DevilArtemis is a part of. I don't really watch a lot of his content, but he's a really good content creator. But yeah, still, what a great death battle. What a great death battle. I hope DevilArtemis does well, but I hope DevilArtemis does well wherever he does next. But he brought in some really good death battles, and for this being his final one, he did really well. Alright. I don't really have a lot to say. I gotta go see this argument on Discord. No, trust me, I gotta see this argument on Discord. It's insane. I have to go see it. So yeah, that's all for this video, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I gotta go now. Bye. Dude, how is Clump gonna react? And how is Gerald gonna pop off? Yo, if he isn't in his face about it, I will be disappointed.